Hey guys, today I want to take a look at the data that RCP has out for the 2020 presidential election between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. So looking at this map here, this is the RCP electoral map. This is basically the map that they have on their website with all of the categorizations for each of these states. So looking at this map, what you'll see is that RCP is very conservative with giving states to candidates with a safe or even likely margin. So as you can see, many of these safer Democratic states like Washington, Oregon, Illinois, these are all likely or leans on this map. Colorado and New Mexico, these are lean states on the RCP map. And the only safe states really are California, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, and then Delaware and Maryland with the District of Columbia. So really there are not too many safe Democratic states on this map. Many of these safer states are now likely or leans on this map. Oregon is a lean state on this map. Washington is a likely state. This is just because they are very conservative with giving out safe or likely margins to each of the candidates. And looking at the Republican side here for Donald Trump, there's a very small number of safe states. States like Indiana, South Carolina, Montana, these are all lean states for him right now on this map. Alaska, Utah, as well as some of the South, these are all likely states for the president. And then looking at all of these gray states, these are all the states that they consider to be toss-ups. 211 electoral votes worth of toss-up states. Of course, the two swing districts, these are all toss-ups. And then Nevada, I think, is surprising to see it as a toss-up. Minnesota is also a toss-up on this map, as well as New Hampshire. New Hampshire, I really don't think should be a toss-up on this map at this point. And Missouri shouldn't be a toss-up. It should be more of a lean state for Donald Trump. However, it is still a toss-up on this map. RCP just does not like to be wrong and likes to leave as many toss-ups as they can if they are not almost 100% sure that's going to go to either candidate. States like Montana, there's really no chance of going to Biden, but there is still theoretically a very small chance. So they don't want to give it to Biden or to Trump with such a safe margin, which is all right, I guess, but it really does make this map not too clear as to who they think will really win, just because of the large amount of toss-up states on this map. However, they do have another map, which is their no toss-ups map, this map right here. Basically, this map is no margin. It's just either blue or red, whether they think it's going to go to Trump or Biden. So looking at this map, there are a couple of surprises here. Ohio, this is very surprising. Ohio, this is basically the only forecast or projection map or whatever that actually gives Ohio to Biden. Now, I do think that Biden definitely can win Ohio if he were to really put the money and time into the state. However, right now, Ohio is in the Trump column in most forecasts. If you look at 538 or Our Progress or JHK, you will see that the state of Ohio is in the Trump column, and it's pretty safe for him. It's not safe, but it's better than a tilt margin in most of those forecasts. Ohio has actually been in the Biden column for a pretty long time now. Ohio has stayed in the Biden column basically since June, I believe. And then North Carolina was in the Trump column for a while. However, in the last couple of days, I believe in late August or early September this month, they moved North Carolina back into the Biden column. So 15 electoral votes for Biden, putting him up at 352 electoral votes. This is one of the better maps for Biden, in my opinion. And then the 2nd District of Maine, they do give to Trump, which I think is wrong. I think the 2nd District will go to Biden in 2020. And then the 2nd District of Nebraska, they give to Biden. So they think that Biden's going to flip the 2nd District. However, they think that Trump is going to hold on to the 2nd District of Maine. And then they also give states like Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, the 3 Rust Belt states that Trump won by less than 1% in 2016, they all give to Joe Biden. These are the states that would put him over 270, and then states like Arizona, they also give to Biden as a flip, and the state of Florida, they project, will go to Joe Biden. And so this map is very favorable for Biden. It's pretty surprising because the RCP, in my opinion, tends to be a little more right-leaning than it does than some of the other forecasts like JHK or Our Progress. However, this forecast is it's pretty favorable for Biden right now, honestly. 352 electoral votes to Donald Trump with 186. This is nearing Barack Obama's 2008 margins. I think the only states he's missing is Indiana as well as some other state, I believe. Indiana and Iowa, I'm pretty sure, are the states that would give Joe Biden the Obama margin that he had in 2008. However, this map is still looking very good for Biden. There are many states that he can lose. He can lose states like Arizona, still win the election. North Carolina, Ohio. He can lose all of these states and still win the election. He can lose Florida even, and still be the election winner. However, this map is definitely a very good sign for the Biden campaign and shows that he is really on the pathway to victory right now. And then looking at the general election polling that they have out, currently Biden leads by an average of 7% nationwide. Now, this is a step down from his 10-point lead in late to mid-June. However, this is still, his margin in June really was not going to last. I don't think anyone really thought that this margin was going to stay until election night. However, 10.2%, 10.1% in late June. However, now he's up 7%. That is still very good. Hillary Clinton never had this large of a margin in 2016, and Biden already has. And if you look at his peak, basically in the entire month of June and July, Biden was up around 9 to 10% on average. And basically, it's pretty flat here. And then since then, Biden has dropped, but it still stayed pretty consistent in the 7 to 8% range for Joe Biden. So honestly, his lead might not be as big, but it's still as reliable as it was before. It's not like 2016 where there were lots of ups and downs, because this data right here, this really does not matter. The only data that really matters, in my opinion, is after March, after Super Tuesday, in my opinion. So really, this was when, it's really these numbers that really matter. As Biden, as you can see, Biden has stayed pretty consistent. Trump never really got close at all. Biden's smallest lead was 4.4%. That is nearing Clinton's highest lead in 2016. So this is definitely a very good sign for Biden. He's up 7 points in the polls. I think that, he leads in basically every single poll. If you look down here at the polls, there's no poll that Trump leads in. There's not even a poll where they're tied. The last poll where they were tied was in May. So honestly, Trump is not good for him right now. Even RCP shows that Biden's up 7%. If you look at 538, he's up even more, as 538 does have more polls. 538 does put in more pollsters. RCP likes to be very selective about which pollsters they actually put in. And looking at the favorability ratings right now between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Biden's favorability has really been increasing lately. He's now up at an average of plus 2.0% in terms of his favorability right now. Basically, that's around, I guess you could say it's a 51-49 favorability right now. If you look down here, as you can see, for the Biden favorability, you have 48% view him as favorable, and then 46% view him as unfavorable for Joe Biden, while Trump has a 42% favorability right now to a 55% unfavorable right now. So Biden is up 15.3% in his in how favorable he is viewed right now. 42%. If Trump won 42% of the vote, I will tell you right now, he's not going to win the election. He cannot win the election with 42% of the vote. Even if he did lose the popular vote last time, but with 42%, he cannot win. But Biden with 48%, he can definitely win the election with 48%. If he wins 48% of the vote, that's basically Clinton's margin, but there's, of course, going to be more voters. He's going to win more than 48% of the vote. That's just how the electorate worked. Some people might view him unfavorably, but still vote for him at the end of the day, just because these other third-party candidates or other candidates really have absolutely no chance at winning. So this is the favorability ratings for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. As you can see, Biden is in the net positive. He has been in the positive for quite a while. The last time he was in the positive was late June, when he was at 1%, and then before that it was in March, and then of course before that, after in the early days of his campaign, he was very favorable, very popular. But an election really does hurt your popularity very much. Trump's was on a pretty steep downward spiral since basically late April. He went all the way down to negative 17.5%. It has gone up from, that's a good sign, from 13.3% in the negatives for President Trump right now. And looking at the 2020 versus 2016 data, as you can see, of course, Biden is up 15.3%. Clinton was up 9.1% at the exact same time in 2016. But looking at this map, as you can see, Clinton was not as favorable as some other. She was not too favorable in 2016. Clinton was not well liked by the American electorate, as you can see. But this was her convention bump right here, I believe. I'm not too sure about this actually, but she was down at plus 3.1% at one point. Biden was never down this low. The lowest he was at was 3.4% in April, but since then he's jumped all the way up to plus 15.4%. 3 over President Trump. Clinton was up at 9.1. So definitely another good sign for Biden right here. Biden leads is 6% doing 6% better than Clinton was in 2016. And then looking at Trump's job approval right here, there's no Biden approval because he's not the vice president anymore and he doesn't hold any type of public office. However, Trump does. His approval rating right now is 8.5% in the negatives. So yes, this does mean that there are people who approve of him based on the job he's doing, but still view him unfavorably. So I guess that's all right, because I think that these voters who approve of him are still going to come out and vote for him. And then looking at the graph here, honestly, it's good and bad for Trump. Honestly, it's pretty bad considering that he's a negative 8.5 approval rating right now, but it has improved. At his peak at his lowest, he was at around negative 15%, nearing negative 15%. He was expected to break his all-time unfavorability record. It was down at around 20% there. I really thought that he was going to go all the way down, but since then he has really gone up. This is mainly a result of the Black Lives Matter movement and how Trump's, he did not have a very good reaction towards it, honestly, but it really was not coronavirus that really led to this. After COVID-19, his numbers, skyrocketed up, disapprove +2, and then after the it did go down a little bit, did go up and down after that, but really it was in late June that it really started to drop, as you can see, and it took him all the way down to negative 15%. However, in the last couple of days, it has improved for Trump, so I guess that is a good sign for the president right now. And so basically that is it for this video. I just want to take a look at the RCP data. I think the RCP is definitely good at RCP does show a lot of good data on their website, although I think that they do underestimate the Democrats in many ways just because they don't put out as many polls as other websites like 538 does. But you can definitely check out the Real Clear Politics averages for all of these things on their website. As well as that, I want to thank you guys all for 900 subscribers yesterday. We hit that yesterday, and we are now so close to 1,000 subscribers. We're less than 25 subscribers away as of recording this video. So please definitely subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. As well as that, please leave a like rating if you liked it. Comment your thoughts below, as well as your video suggestions that you want to see from me in the future in the comment section. As well as that, I will be releasing an election night for my 1,000 subscribers special in a couple of days, possibly on Monday, most likely on Monday, but we'll see. It really depends on when I get that done. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Really appreciate all the support from you guys, and I will see you in the next video.